This is Plant-Based Briefing, Speciesism, the Original Discrimination, featuring Gary Yourofsky, by Moran Barwick at bitesizevegan.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And Moran Barwick is one of the people that's given me permission to share her content. She founded Bite Size Vegan to provide non-vegans with information and to provide teaching tools to current vegans. She believes in the power of an informed public, that everyone deserves to know the truth about what they're putting in their body, about what they're feeding their children, about how what they eat impacts their planet, and they certainly deserve to know what they're paying others to do to animals in their name. Her videos are amazing, great teaching tools. She even has some geared specifically for children. So I highly recommend following her. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Speciesism, the Original Discrimination, featuring Gary Yourofsky, by Moran Barwick at bitesizevegan.org. Speciesism is the assumption of human superiority leading to the exploitation of animals. It is the false belief that non-human animals do not have nor deserve the same rights as we humans. It is the oldest form of discrimination on this planet. If you're Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, male, female, androgynous, transgender, gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, young, old, rich, poor, furred, feathered, scaled, hooved, clawed, finned, whatever, you feel, you hurt, you desire, you love, and you deserve life. This is the final installation of my interview series with vegan activist Gary Yourofsky. I saved this for last because this is the message I want to leave you with at the end of the series. Gary's words are so powerful. First off, in case you don't know, speciesism is the concept of discriminating against other beings based on their species. It's primarily meant to apply to humans and how we discriminate against other animals, as well as our tendency to put some species above others. We love dogs, but we will eat cows, etc. Here are some select golden nuggets from my interview with Gary. Be sure to check out the video above for his full take on speciesism. Human beings claim to be compassionate, claim to know better, but then we turn around and do the same horrible things to the animals that we've done to each other, that logical people now condemn. What we've done to blacks, what we've done to women, what we do to homosexuals. It is time to eradicate all forms of discrimination once and for all, from speciesism down the line. But let me point this out, too. You're never going to get rid of racism, sexism, heterosexism, anti-Semitism until you destroy discrimination at its root, and that root is speciesism. It's the first form of hatred human beings are taught. Before any white person is ever taught to hate a black person, if they're taught that, before any man is ever taught to hate and dominate a woman, if they're taught that, they are taught to eat the cow, eat the pig, eat the chicken, disregard this animal, love the dog, love the horse, be sad for rhino, love the elephant, but F those fish. It's all backwards. If you want to get rid of all the forms of hatred, get rid of speciesism. You teach kids justice and teach them to respect the weakest, even the most insignificant of creatures, a mouse, a chicken. Think about this. If you teach that to a child, when that child grows up and sees different sizes, shapes, and colors of human beings, how do they learn to hate them? Because that's what it boils down to, discrimination, speciesism. It's all based on sizes, shapes, and colors, and you want to treat certain sizes, shapes, and colors better than the other ones? No, you treat everyone equally. That's all that vegans, that's all animal rights people want, equality. I hope you enjoyed hearing Gary speak about speciesism. Be sure to watch the video for the full discussion. Speciesism really is the original form of discrimination. We've been discriminating against animals for ages, and certain individuals have been fighting against this injustice for ages as well. With the words of Pythagoras, born in 571 BC, ringing prophetic, he said, "As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love." We cannot learn to live in peace and love one another truly until we learn to live in peace with and love all sentient beings. Regardless of your race, your creed, your religion, your gender, or your species, we all hurt, we all bleed, we all feel, and we all deserve respect, love, and safety. Pain is pain, blood is blood, and suffering is suffering. Just look into the eyes of any animal in the food industry, and you will see terror, pain, and sadness. These beings are not as distant from us as we like to think, but our falsely created divisions, our painfully maintained beliefs of separation, and our stubborn insistence that these creatures, these beings, these sentient, conscious lives with families and concerns of their own, are nothing but things, objects, machines, placed here for our use and our needs. These culturally ingrained and socially hardwired unrealities are creating an ever-growing cognitive dissonance within our collective psyches that will eventually tear us apart. Because at our core, we know that what is on our plate, what is on our coat rack, what is in our glass was once alive, and that life is no longer there because of us, and that the reality of taking the life of another is too much to bear. But that is the reality. No matter how humane, free-range, cage-free, or local, animal products are lives cut short. And though we may not wield the blade, we are complicit. It's time to wake up. It's time to take off the blinders. And it's time to end this insanity called speciesism. You just listened to Speciesism, the original Discrimination featuring Gary Yourofsky by Emily Moran Barwick at bitesizevegan.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, your host. As always, I put a link to the original post in the show notes, and there you can watch the video she mentions. Gary says a lot more in the video than in this article. He addresses, for example, the circle of life argument that a lot of people bring up. You know how they say, well, it's natural because a lion will eat a zebra, it's just the circle of life. Well, they don't bring up the circle of life argument if a bear attacks a hiker. He makes some really good points. He also has some famous speeches that are fantastic. I'll put a link to one of them in the show notes as well. But you can also find them at cubeoftruth.com. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.